so dark in here. Is that my crap top crapping? Oh my god. Let's see. TGIF babes. TGIF. Okay, now we got some natty light in here. Natty light. Hello, guys. It's so good. I got some tea. Grab a drink. This video may not be very long. I do have to work a second shift. So, happy Friday, everyone. In the chat, make sure that you share this video. Just a reminder, these are my theories for entertainment purposes only. And also, it's actually not safe for me to be talking about this. Let's be real. I've been talking about this case. I'm the only YouTuber that I know of that has made over 99.99999% of my channel is about the Idaho 4. I have mentioned in the past that I have gotten threats in the past, right? Especially when we were talking about that white vehicle that was, found in another state. This, in my opinion, it takes a very specific type of individual to have the guts or the audacity or stupidity, you can call it stupidity, to come on here, make a fucking channel, to talk about this shit, right? So please give it a thumbs up, right? I never ask you guys for cash apps or money or whatever. I only ask that you like this video. Again, we're literally putting our lives in danger, right? Because you guys know my family has actually been threatened. They've threatened, my entire family, my children. People have said they're going to find my parents. Like, this is no joke. When we have people that are that unhinged, in my opinion, that is a prime sign that there's something off going here. In this case, about the Idaho 4, and today I'm going to be talking about the house. We know it was demolished before anything even happened. The house was demolished. And now I'm going through more pictures that were found in the house. And I'm like, wait a minute. Was this house painted over? Was there a crime scene cleanup? Yes, we've theorized that already, but was the house actually painted? And when I leave this live stream today, I will post it in the thumbnail and you guys can take a screenshot or pause it and zoom in and let me know your thoughts, because there is a video or a picture showing the sliding door, and it looks like there's white paint all over the floor, like droplets everywhere. And then there's a can of paint that's right in the house. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, does this explain the 8-hour delay? We had already theorized 3 years ago that the 8-hour delay was most likely due to a crime scene cleanup. We had already heard one of the crime scene cleanup theories from 4chan, in fact, right? Because we know that allegedly one of the frat boys, allegedly his father owns a cleaning company. How convenient, right? And these pictures, again, I will post them in the thumbnail so you guys can let me know. But we have an 8-hour gap for cleaning and painting, potentially. The front door was open before Hunter Johnson showed up, right? And Hunter Johnson said that he stated he had to enter the code, right? That's what Hunter Johnson said. I had to enter the code to get in the house. But we've already heard from other people that were walking down the road, other witnesses, that the door was wide open. The front door was wide open between 9 and 10 a.m. The front door to 1122 King Road was open. So now here we have a contradiction from a random witness, a passerby, contradicting potentially what Hunter Johnson had said about, oh, I had to enter a code, which also contradicts what Dylan said. Because what did Dylan say in that interview? She stated the door was broken a week ago. When you have bullshit on top of bullshit on top of more bullshit, these are literally three people that are contradicting themselves. And I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm going to question the statements of the people that were inside of 1122 King Road more so than a random passerby, because it's statistically more likely that the people that were at 1122 King Road have more of a reason to lie, have more connections to the victims, right? Versus a random passerby that is saying the front door was open from 9 to 10 a.m., said it was wide open still at 11 a.m. And this is what Hunter said. When I walked into the house and to get into the house, I had to enter a code. Oopsie. Oopsie. Oopsie, Hunter Johnson. Because, again, the door was wide open. You made a big oopsie. The front door was wide open, babe. The front door was wide open. And we also know now, 3 years later, that the glass door was also open for 8+ hours. 8+ hours, people. Get it in there. What a perfect way to get a stream of fresh air flowing through that home, right? To get rid of the smell of paint, of red fluid, of feces, of urine. By the way, this is your little trigger warning if you need it, if you're sensitive. Trigger warning. Okay. For those of you who don't know, when people pass away, let me tell you a little secret, okay? Some horrible things happen to our bodies. We defecate ourselves. Defecate, by the way, means you poop yourself. Yeah. Or you urinate yourself. Why? Because all your body is tensing up when you pass away, and then it relaxes every single muscle, right? And you release all the body fluids, basically. So not only would this house be covered in way more red fluid than we have seen in the images, because we know these young people, especially Xana, fucking hero, right? She was the hero, in my opinion. I'm not trying to say Kaylee wasn't a hero, but if there is a hero to the story, it was Xana. 50+ stab wounds, and likely put up a big fight with, which likely angered the assailant or assailants, which meant that she continued to get stabbed over and over again. Do you know how much red fluid? There'd be red fluid all over the place. The house would reek of urine and iron and copper and feces, okay? And I will post the pictures. We have a freaking can of paint magically sitting inside of 1122 King Road. When we look closely at the interior of 1122 King Road, it looks like there was a fresh coat of paint all over those walls. That's what it looks like to me. And if that is the case, then that would explain why they rushed to demolish 1122 King Road. And I still can't forget about Officer Warner calling Hunter Johnson his homeboy. His homeboy. His homeboy. Okay, this case just gets weirder and weirder, and yet only one person has been arrested for it. I don't care what anybody else says. You can agree, you can disagree. In my mind, Dylan and Bethany are suspicious, and they should have been questioned. more thoroughly. We have seen the questioning videos, right? This is a bizarre case. It was literally 28 degrees outside. Okay. No one's going to leave their doors wide open in the snow. We're supposed to assume that these girls didn't uh, feel the cold air, or that the heat wasn't constantly kicking on, or that it didn't smell of red fluid, of feces, of urine. The smell alone would have woken you up, right? And I know, guys, I literally I'm a scientist. I work in a research facility. There's body fluid everywhere. Okay, just a few drops of red fluid when we're testing it smells like iron and copper. Okay, it's very, very strong. Imagine a house where 4 people have been cut up, carved up. It's going to smell, right? And there was no charges laid for tampering with a crime scene on top of everything, right? Because we've seen the cops not wearing booties, not wearing hats. Officers are touching things they shouldn't be touching. Uh, the fact that Hunter went in there, touched everything as well, touched a fucking knife. How do we know that? This is a theory. How do we know that maybe he didn't utilize this knife himself? And that maybe he touched the knife to leave his prints somewhere inside the house. We don't know that. I'm not suggesting he did anything. I'm just saying, from a detective point of view, you would take everything into account, right? But no, because we have this case where everybody, for whatever reason, all these frat boys and sorority girls were treated like royalty instead. Okay? You're supposed to put these frat boys, sorority girls, the people that were, Dylan and Bethany at 1122 King Road, what you are supposed to do in a normal investigation that is handled properly, you're supposed to put these people in cuffs. And if not, at the very least, you separate them as soon as possible, especially as soon as you see 4 fucking bodies inside the house. Okay, that's common practice. That's police department 101, right? You don't allow them to huddle and talk and listen in on what the cops are saying. And here, what we see is there's always one person around, always eavesdropping on what they were saying. Did you guys catch that? Because I did. But of course, if it's a possibility, a theory, of course, that the police are involved, then this is just a massive cover up, right? It's insane. And a lot of you have reached out to me on Instagram and you're telling me that Hunter gives you Chris Watts vibes. Right? And we have this cop who looks creepy, in my opinion, Officer Warner, calling him his homeboy. And what's very, very strange is that initial accounts were the one of the first responding officers was immediately overwhelmed by them as he entered the house. But I haven't seen one person, guys. I have not seen one person mention the smell yet on the body cam videos or in the witness interviews. Was the house painted? Was the house bleached? And why would they clean up? Why would they bleach? Why would they paint? Right? Why would they do that? Well, if you clean up or if you paint over red fluid splatters on a wall, that's going to alter the investigation. We know that detectives and investigators often look at red blood splatter. They do the analysis to see what actually took place to try to paint a picture. But if you have people that are painting over the red fluid splatter, it makes it a lot harder to actually figure out what was going on, right? I think we're at a point in time now where even the guilters have to face it. Like, this is a cover up. This is a cover up. And everything points to the cover up starting immediately. Okay. The police were very, very aware much earlier, in my opinion, that this case had taken place. right? And then we also know that the FBI had their own parallel investigation going on that could not be exposed. So, again, was this Idaho 4 crime a consequence or a part of a much larger FBI operation? Because if so, then that would potentially explain and maybe even legally justify uh, all the absurdities, the secrets, the weird ass ruling, the crazy gag order, the deviations, the odd judges that have been attached to this case, and not only the weird judges, but their responses, their legal actions, them basically banning Brian Kohlberger's lawyers to allow DNA that was found at the crime scene under Maddie Mogen's nails to be submitted, to be entered into this case. That is wild, guys. That is wild. I just hope that these four beautiful people continue to get justice, right? And I'll also post a picture of Officer Warner, the one that called Hunter Johnson his homeboy. I'm going to post his picture on there. This guy is smiling. He is smiling, right? You guys shit on me all of the time. You're so disrespectful. How dare you put on chapstick while you're talking about these four dead people? Go take your idiotic, low IQ nonsense elsewhere. Because here I have a picture of Officer Warner standing outside of 1122 King Road. Like, it's like the day of the unalivings, and he's fucking smiling. He is smiling. Why are you grinning? There's nothing to be smiling about here. In my opinion, that is absolutely disgusting. You're literally right outside where a crime just took place, and you're fucking. Or is he smiling because he talked to his homeboy? Hey, buddy, pound that. High five. Yeah. You did so good, buddy. You did so good. Okay, it's sickening, in my opinion, watching him smiling and laughing, considering what's going on at that time. There are so many inconsistencies that include Dylan and then her boyfriend. And then we're ignoring the fact that they saw all these people that don't necessarily, she didn't necessarily give the description in the beginning, right? It sounds like she was pushed to give a very specific description by law enforcement. She was not the first person, Dylan was not the first person to say, oh yeah, and like bushy eyebrows. That was not, it did not come out of her. That phrase did not come out of her first. It came out from law enforcement. And then we have two contradicting stories about Bethany Funk and Dylan Morrison, uh, according to their own statements. And then there's Hunter's statement at Moscow Police Department's interview room that Bethany and Dylan came out of Bethany's room only after he walked into the house. Another contradiction. The thoughts of what actually may have taken place is diabolical. I don't even want to I don't know if I want to actually know. I do, but part of me thinks that this is much larger, much sicker than we are assuming. And if Dylan allegedly ran to Bethany's room when she was running scared, I mean, you would have had to shut the front door, right? To go to Bethany's room. They're right next to each other. Also, that bottom floor bathroom was immaculate. Okay, the pictures that have been released show this bathroom is fucking perfectly clean. People love to talk about Brian's bathroom. He was planning to run away. He didn't have a curtain. Well, he was going to be gone for like weeks and weeks, right? It was a holiday. We give him the benefit of the doubt, right? But all the guilters always say his bathroom was spotless. That means he's the unaliver. Okay, what about that bottom floor bathroom? There's no toilet paper, no towels, no nothing. Brand new shower curtains that appear to have just been unfolded. You can still see the creases in them, right? We're not going to question that. No, right? We're not going to question that because that's not Brian. And my original theory, I don't know if a lot of you guys remember, one of my many original theories was that these kids OD'd. It sounds like they were on front row. They sound like they were users. They sound like they were users. I don't know. But when I first heard Kathy, the coroner, mention that they didn't want to release the drug reports, right? They didn't want to release their reports. What did she say? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if they had illicit substances in their body. This would have happened still. It fucking matters, you fucking stupid ass bimbo ass bitch. How the fuck are you a coroner? Of course it fucking matters. That's literally one of the most important documents ever. Do you know why? Because if they had a shit ton of illicit drugs in their system, how do we not know that they fucking OD'd? Very, very likely. Very likely that they OD'd. These are college kids. They're fucking partying. The likelihood of them ODing and the likelihood of the university freaking the fuck out. I can't imagine Scott Green. Oh my God, we gotta do something. We can't get a bad name with the university. We can't have it out there that the kids are ODing left and right. It's gonna lose us pesos. We can't be losing pesos. How do we fix this? And this is the theory. How do we fix this? Wait 8 hours until fentanyl disappears. It takes 8 hours roughly for fentanyl to get out of the body. And then you send a team in there to make it look like a crime scene took place. That's not that far-fetched. It really is not that far-fetched. Because at that point, I can see why somebody would think that. It's like, well, these 4 people already OD'd. Again, this is a theory. If these 4 people had already OD'd, it's like, well, we might as well make it look like they got schmurdered. We might as well make it look that way because it's better that than to make it look like kids are passing away left and right utilizing fentanyl. And I think that's why uh, the coroner was like, it doesn't really matter. She tried to distract us, tried to tell us, tried to bullshit us and say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they had drugs in their system. Okay. Most drugs are out of your system about in 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours. And is that what they were waiting for? Were they waiting that long for to make this case official? Is that why they waited until noon? Were they waiting for fentanyl or some other illicit substance to disappear after 8 hours in a unalived bodies? Right? I don't know. I don't know. But it's a theory. Let's see. You know what? I was gonna Google how many people have OD'd at U of I, but you know what? We're probably not gonna get it accurate. an accurate estimate anyway, right? Because every weird passing away of any student, every frat boy, sorority girl that has passed away in a mysterious circumstance, they're always like, oh, it's very random, very mysterious, we don't really know why. We don't know why. Either way, guys, thank you guys for joining me in today's live. I may or may not come on here later. There is another topic I want to talk about. I do have to get to work. I start at 4, so I'm sorry I didn't have time to go through the chat. I see that SARS is here, Crown is here, Nadine, Maria, Elizabeth, Blake, hello. Suds, whoever else is here. Who's in here? Is Hopper's in here? Where's Hopper's? Hi, Zyra. I'm sorry if I missed any of you guys. I'm just kind of rushing through the chat right now. Anyway, thank you guys for all for the support. Happy Friday. Hope to see you maybe in a few hours, but I won't promise anything. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me know what you thought about this. I will be uploading the pictures of the painting, what appears to look like paint droplets all over the floor near the sliding door. If you think that those look like paint droplets, please make sure to vote in the comment section. Leave a 1. If you think that it's something else, leave a 2. So see you guys soon. Take care.